start.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry for the delay. I had some network issues, but I'm here now. So today we are going to speak on getting started on cybersecurity. I'm Mary Gabriel ISAMBA, and that's my contact, my Twitter. My Twitter, you can find me there. Okay. Let me start with good afternoon. Okay. Abdullah,
Yeah, absolutely. I can hear
can I
you.
start now?
Yeah, sure. You can
Okay,
start.
okay. Okay. Then let's move to our discussion topics. We're going to discuss on, as what the title say, we're going to discuss on cybersecurity getting started. So it's only 3 parts that I'll talk about. We'll define some terms on cybersecurity. Then we will talk of the skills for getting started in cybersecurity field, and we'll finish with where to practice. I believe practicing is the key. Like when you practice, you become better at something. So we'll finish with this. So let's start. Let's start. Uh, let's define hacking, because cybersecurity is associated with hacking in one way or another. So I'll define hacking. As I wrote here, hacking is exploiting a system vulnerability and security controls. So vulnerabilities are weaknesses found in systems. Example, applications, operating systems, mobile applications, be it web applications. So any weaknesses that are found in systems, even humans, we have some weaknesses. So vulnerability is all about weaknesses, exploiting or searching for weaknesses in a system. So hacking is aiming at gaining access to a system resource or system resources and features outside the creator's original purpose, such as a developer developed application for a certain purpose. Example, you can say a payment system or payment application is designed. The aim is to simplify the payment of different, maybe somebody's having a shop and he or she has a, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
Okay. So maybe somebody has an application, let's say a mobile application, let's speak of Paytm. So Paytm is aiming at simplifying payment. So the purpose of the application is for payment of different things. So that is the purpose. So when a person steals money from that application, that is not the purpose. Or steals the data of the users of that system, that is not the purpose. So hacking is aiming at gaining access to a system resource or features outside the creator's original purpose. Creator creates application for purpose A, but hackers use the same application for purpose B. So it's different from the original purpose of the application. So when you use or when you do anything to a system in a different purpose rather than the one that is created for, you are doing hacking. So hacking, it can be technical, such as the example that I mentioned for mobile applications, web applications, systems. It can be physical. Physical meaning stealing data from somebody. Example, a simple example is eavesdropping. Eavesdropping is the act of, uh, such as I'm chatting on my phone, then somebody is reading my text. That's eavesdropping. Other thing, um, such as maybe you have your house, just physical attacks like theft. That is hacking also. It's a physical hacking. Then human based, this is mostly basing on social engineering. So let's move to the next part where I will define cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the technique practice for protecting data. That's all about cybersecurity. It's all about data and protection of data. Data can be digital data, can be stored data on your PC or on your pen drive. Data in transit, maybe you're communicating with your friend, so somebody can intercept to that data and read or listen to your conversation. That is data that is interacting with data in transit. Okay, so cybersecurity is basically basing on these three things. Confidentiality. By confidentiality, it means who can access the data. You have data, so the data is not, let's take an example, it's a private data, it's not data that should be public to everyone. So confidentiality is aiming at defining who can access the data according to the roles or according to the, let's talk of an organization rules or something. So it's all about who can access the data that is available. And integrity is all about checking for modifications of data. As we are communicating right now, somebody in another place might be hearing something else if an hacker comes in between our communication and modify it. I hope it's clear. Then availability, we speak of, is the data available to the user that are supposed to get the data. When we talk of availability, there's a certain attack called denial of service attack. This attack is usually disturbing the availability of data. So it's denying people from getting the data that they intended to get. Okay. From that, I would like this session to be interactive. So Abdullah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to hear some voices if it's clear.
Okay, no problem. So anybody having any questions?
Can
very like this
yes?
is very interesting, and I'm new to this field. So can you please elaborate more about integrity?
Okay, integrity is the act of checking the originality of data. Is the data from the source original to the destination? Such as you are sending a message to your friend somewhere. So you are the source of the message, and your friend is the destination. So when you are sending something to your friend, or the message, as we say, is passing through different channels till it gets to your friend. So somebody can come in between the transportation or the communication channel and interact or interfere with the data. As you are sending A, he or she, the hacker, speaking of the hacker, in technical terms we call man in the middle. So man in the middle can change A from B. Then your friend will be receiving B. And you know that you sent A. I think I'm trying to speak on integrity there. So integrity is the act of checking if the data is modified or not. That's integrity. Is it clear?
Yes, it's very clear. Thank you, Mary.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. So that's integrity. So it's confirming that the A that you sent to your friend is still A and is not B. That's integrity. So moving to the next slide, skills to start with. So I'm trying to make it fast because we aim at making a short, like 30 minutes talk. So in case of any question, you can type it or ask. So speaking of skills to start with, I'm just speaking of skills to start, not general skills that you need to be ethical hacker or to be a cybersecurity, I can say cybersecurity officer or cybersecurity somebody, consultant or something. So basic skills, where to start? Operating environment. You need to know how operating environment operates, or how operating environment to use them generally, basically to use the operating environment. Uh, Mostly cybersecurity people or hackers use Linux system, different distributions such as Parrot, speaking of Kali. Mostly they use this because of the tools that they provide. And also networking is important. Hacking methodologies such as gathering information, because you have to know your target before the hack. Then you have to do some footprinting, you have to scan the target. Yeah, so you have to know the methodologies. Then open web security. This is OWASP, is our project which is designed for the aim of checking vulnerabilities. It's I will show this. Let me change the sharing. I'll show this as it can be simple to explain. These are designed for the aim of mostly web application developer to check for the vulnerabilities of their systems before they keep their systems public. So I'll stop sharing this and I'll switch to this. Can you see this?
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is OWASP. This is, as is written here, is using the OWASP top 10 is the purpose that most effective first step towards changing the software development culture within organization into one process, most secure code. So this aims at checking for vulnerabilities in web applications before you keep them publicly, such as there are some injection attacks, broken authentication, and some other. So this is like a standard, or say, let's try to open this injection. It's keeping, as you can say, threats. It's defining threats and is showing how you can secure. Example, Abdullah is developing a web application. Maybe he's developing it using PHP. After development, it can be vulnerable. So how can Abdullah know that his system is vulnerable? He can come with in this website and read the threats that are possible to happen in his web applications and how to secure them. So before the application is public, he can test for the vulnerabilities. I hope it's clear.
Yeah, absolutely. It's clear, Mary.
Okay. So programming language, I'm going to illustrate this. That's why I'm just mentioning them. I will illustrate all of this and GitHub. At least you start with these basic things. You just have to know these things to start with. Then soft skills, you need to be curious. Curiosity is the key. Why am I saying this? Because if you're curious, you're going to get a desire to know how things work. You are curious of knowing maybe how does this thing, like what are the vulnerabilities of this system. Example, you're designing a web application. Let's use a web application example. As you have designed the web application, so after designing, after coding it, you have to check for vulnerabilities. Okay. Speaking of curiosity, before I speak of this example, speaking of curiosity, as the way is as the general definition. You just have to be curious of knowing things, of knowing the working of things. That's the general thing. Learning desire, you need to have a learning desire, and also you need to read, be updated, because as systems are developed day after day, so the systems that are developed, they have vulnerabilities. So you need to read, you need to be updated, you need to be curious. So as you know that this system is designed in this way, so what can go wrong? Like it's designed using this algorithm or using this process. So what is the possibly thing that can go wrong that it can be exploited, as it can be a weakness in the system? And in most companies, when they develop their systems, they usually post them in, I'll show the application, they usually the website, they usually post their applications for testing. So I'll also show that where to practice. So I'll speak of where to practice the skills. I'll start with this CTF time. This CTF, the long form of CTF is capture the flag. I like practicing my skills using these CTFs because they are challenging, and also they have some write-ups. So in case you are stuck, you can check on the write-ups. Let me show this CTF time. This is the website. I hope it's visible. Then these are the upcoming challenges, and these are the write-ups that I was talking about. So let's see. Upcoming challenge is these ones. Let's see. So here the challenges defined and the prices are defined. A chance of hiring to top hunters, share top 5. So these are the rewards after doing the CTFs. But generally, with doing these CTFs, you are adding your skills, like you are practicing things that you have been learning. And by write-ups, I mean when the challenge is over, they are showing the solution of the challenge. Let me move to the third page. Example, this SQL injection. We saw in OWSP that they wrote injection. So injection is a attack. It's an attack that can happen on a web application, and this is the challenge. And here are the write-ups, so you can read the write-ups. Let's go straight to read the write-ups. Okay, the write-up is on GitHub. That's why in the skills I also wrote GitHub is important to learn. I think it's open here already. Let's wait. Okay, let's see this. This challenge on the web is in web category. You can see this is a JavaScript code. That's why it's important to learn programming. So this is the write-up, like the solution. Capture the flag. So the flag is here that you have to find. It can be hard to understand, but I'll try to explain it as simple as possible with this Pico CTF. This Pico CTF is a website. It's a website which is having you can note down the sites, or I think they're going to share the slide on the group for further reference, so as you can pass through them. Give me a minute. I'm signing up. I'm logging in the Pico CTF. Okay, give me a minute. I'm logging into the system. Let me share my screen. So, as we are waiting for this, let me show this, hack this site, the site, hack this site. All these are for practicing your skills. Let's watch this. It's taking some time to load because of the internet. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes. We can
Okay.
see your screen.
Okay. This is TryHackMe. The site is having different challenges. We can see it has web challenges, Windows, forensics, reverse networking, cryptography, Linux, and other missions. So let's try seeing this. So okay, I have to log in. I'm facing this problem because the system that I get for this, I was planning to show you things on it stopped working. Let me try it.
I think, Mary, you can continue with the slide, and then later on we can come back to this.
Okay, no problem. So the slides are over. I just wanted to show this where to practice because I wanted to show even how to practice and to speak of this basic knowledge. Why am I saying this is necessary for one to start in cybersecurity field? That's why I'm trying to fix the issue here.